Hey yo, what is up guys? And we're back today for this new treasure map that I'm sure most of you didn't pull, right? You should be responsible with your gems and wait for the August Super Seagull to pull. So don't worry, I've got some teams for you. I've got 3 examples of teams for the invasion. That is the hardest fight of this treasure map. The rest is manageable, so I'm just going to showcase my teams and hopefully helps you with your New World teams and give you inspiration to make your teams if you don't have the same units as me. They kind of went overboard with the invasion, I'm not gonna lie, but it's manageable. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get you through it. Alright, let's start with the mini bosses. So I'm not really proud of my mini bosses team. Some of these teams aren't as fast as I want them to be, but I don't have time to tinker with them, and I'm just going to do 10 million points and dip. I'm not gonna farm it, so I'm not overly concerned with how long they're gonna last. So for the first mini boss, Carrot, she does basically all the characters are boosted. They all get 5 cooldown. The last stage we get 6 turns of damage reduction, 3 turns of def up, and 3 turns of threshold. The way I'm gonna do it is this Sanji is going to give us an attack boost and or boost at the start of the fight, and then we're gonna wave clear with this Brook. On the last stage, we're gonna use Nami to remove damage reduction and the def up, and this support here is going to remove 3 turns of threshold. So on the last stage, I'm going to be just using just one special and getting through it. You should not, if you don't have these same characters, you don't have to do it the same way as me. You can just use normal specials and get through it. It's not a big deal. There's the Zoro. There is a recommended character. This one, everybody should have him, and he does a lot for this fight, especially with his limit break, and everybody should have him limit broken. So going into the second mini boss fight, we have Ulti, Sai. We have fighters, slashers, and shooters boosted here. On the last stage, he does blow away for the right column, and 10 turns of bind for the left column. So we're gonna go with a captain that removes blow away. You can use any other captain even if it's not boosted that removes blow away. And there is fighter, slasher, or shooter. I went with Frankie. So we go into the last stage. We're gonna resist the blow away. We're gonna use this Luffy to remove the bind with his special. He's gonna give us an attack boost. We're gonna get an orb boost from this law for int units. And this Blackbeard here is just a beat stick. He gets buffed by Frankie, his int, and he's gonna be our damage for this fight. Vista wave clear as usual, and Hiyori is gonna give us 1 orb from the start that we're gonna keep until the end, until we clear the fight. So we don't have to worry about orbs, and that's it. Going into the third fight, we have Perona as Dex boss. Strength, Dex, and Quick are boosted here. On the last stage, we get 6 turns of threshold, 8 turns of def up, of plus 1,000, and she doesn't resist def down. So we're gonna go naturally with Carrot and Wanda. We have Zoro for wave clear, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 3, we swap Wanda for the attack boost and use her special for the orb boost. And with her special, she's gonna give a minus 100% def down, so we don't have to deal with the 8 turns of defense, and we just clear normally. These two, Kaido and Morley, are just here because they're boosters, and also because they're buffed by Carrot and Wanda. They're gonna do damage since they're strength and striker. So you can break anybody. Once you have your Robin evolved, you can use your second copy, because you can use both If once one of them is evolved, you can bring her here and use her. She's gonna do more damage, and she's gonna give you a higher booster if you care about that. So that's it for this team, and we go into the boss, or like the mini boss, the fourth mini boss. Yamato and Otama. Free Spirit, Driven, and Cerebral are boosted here. We get 8 turns of Despair, 5 turns of Special Bind, and 8 turns of 5 turns of Special Bind for the crew, and 8 turns of Special Bind for the captain. We get all our slots turn into black or unfavorable, and we get the 4 turn of type slots as unfavorable. So here we're just gonna go with Hiyori as on first stage. So we're gonna get all rainbow orbs, so we don't have to worry about the change of orbs, and we don't have to worry about the other debuff that makes type slots unfavorable, even though we have Koala and Sabo. We have Izo and Kiko for wave clear, even though they're not buffed, and we have Tesoro as wave clear, even though he's not buffed. So we're gonna use Tesoro or Tesoro stage 1 and Izukiko stage 2, or vice versa, doesn't matter the order. And then we have this character here, Doll, as just a beat stick. You should start with Koala and Sabo on strength, so you can swap them on the last stage, both captions, to get rid of the despair, and then use their special. It's going to remove the special bind. There's other ways to do it if you're using Sabo and Koala on your main boss team, is if you have this Ace and Sabo. This one here, if you see their captain, when they're merged, they reduce bind and special bind. So what you're gonna do, just on stage 2, before wave clearing with either of these characters, you're gonna use Ace and Sabo's special. They're gonna become Ace and Sabo, and they're gonna be resisting all the debuffs on the last stage, and you don't have to deal with the orb debuffs, because we already have Shirahoshi on here that's going to give us rainbow orbs, so we don't have to deal with that. And the rest of the team can be any other characters that can do damage. I went with Doll because she's int and she's boosted and she gives us damage. This character here, this Lilith, is here just because she gives us an orb boost. She's not necessary. You can just replace it with anything else. So that's it for the mini bosses. So we go into the last boss, Nami Dex. Strength, Psi, and Int are boosted. On stage 2, we get our slots turned into block slots and locked for 1 turn. 6 turns of attack down, 1 turn of burn, 3 turns of territory, and type slots plus Wano and Tandem have reduced damage. So that's a lot just for stage 2, but it's not a big deal. Stage 3, we get 6 turns of threshold, 6 turns of special bind, and middle row stun. And if you go into the last stage with more than 50% HP, you get extra debuffs for 4 turns of barrier and recovery bind. But we should not go into that last stage with more than 50% HP. So here on stage 2, we're going to be using Hina special to remove attack down and give us an orb boost. Then Rock Pirate special that's going to give us Semla slots, so we can go around the orb debuff. Then override the territory, in addition to setting targets, since we have Hina's orb boost. And finally, Ace to take damage, so we can be below 50% HP going into stage 3 to avoid the extra gimmicks. As we go into stage 3, Roger's passive is going to reduce the threshold and reduce it into 0. and then the special bind with his special. And Puddin or Chopper, you can use any support. You can use this Zoro. You can use I don't have it here, but yeah, Puddin or this Chopper. You know, Puddin that does damage to you. Hopefully, it's going to deal with the stun, because it says 10 times damage. I don't know how that works, but if we can't deal with it, if we can't get rid of it, then no big deal. We should be able to clear without the middle row. I position them this way so we don't have to deal with them, or at least it wouldn't be impactful if we don't free them from the stun. Just use all the remaining special and tap away. You can use any ship. I just used the Ho for the orb boost in case I need it on the last stage, but shouldn't be necessary. Ho or Whale Shark are preferable because they give more cooldown, but you probably can bring any other ship you want. And we go into the Intrusion, the main big guy here. And for the Intrusion, we have Boa Hancock as a Dex boss. We have Strikers, Cerebral, Powerhouse, characters that are boosted. The stage 2, we have a layout of 4 characters. 3 of them are just random units that have 2.5 million health. We get hit by 3 turns of Special Reverse, a full board of Paralysis Orbs, 6 turns of Bind for the middle row, 4 turns of Burn, 7 turns of Resilience, and 2 turns of Barrier. On top of that, we have an Interrupt that if we deal damage, we get hit by an extra Special Reverse, and they heal to full, and they lock our specials behind 2 taps, the 2 good taps. And if that was not enough, on stage 3 we get hit by 9 turns of Paralysis and 9 turns of Despair, and also 8 turns of chain attack down, that if we have less than 3 on the chain, we get 90% attack down. So how do we deal with that? The key here is this Wanda and Carrot. They resist special bind completely, and they give us, with their level 2 special, 3 turns of cooldown back. So that's how we're gonna deal with it. And on top of that, to deal with, because we're gonna be taking damage, we're gonna be dealing damage, so we're gonna get hit by the Interrupt. On the last stage, we're gonna be making use of their level 1 special, because once they use their special, they give themselves 3 cooldown, and their level 1 special it should be 4, it should be 3 turns. I think I need to, let me break them. I forgot. 1 second.
A few moments later.
So yeah, now they have 3 turns of cooldown. So that's it. Once we reach stage 3, they're gonna have their special ready. We're gonna use their special. They're going to give us an extra cooldown to counter the -1 special reverse that we got from the interruption. So the order is gonna be swap, Courage Wanda, use their special. We're gonna get our CDs back. Then use the special of Sanji and Frankie, mainly for this support. This they remove bind, and this support says if the character that is supported reduces bind or paralysis, the character reduces paralysis and bind by 1 turn. So once we use the special of Sanji and Frankie, this Nami is gonna take care of the paralysis orbs. And if you don't have her, I have an alternative. Just stay tuned for the next alternative team. And you can use Boa Hancock if you want. If you don't have her, if you want to save her for the last stage, you can, but it's not going to be necessary to use her special either on stage 2 or stage 3. You can use her on stage 2 if you're lacking damage, or stage 3, doesn't matter. And then once we used our specials that we need, we're gonna use Ace. He's gonna deal burn to get rid of the resilience, and he's gonna deal damage. So hopefully he's going to kill the 3 mini mobs. hopefully, because we don't know, because there was some bugs before where the character that is intended to clear mini mobs, they don't, but hopefully it works. We're gonna assume that it works. So that's going to trigger the interrupts. We're gonna get reversed by 1 turn. Doesn't matter, we're gonna clear, and we go into stage 3. We're gonna use Wanda again to give us our 1 cooldown back. These supports, these 2 supports are going to remove 4 turns of bind plus 3 turns from the sockets. So we're gonna need 2 more turns to reach the 9 turns of despair. So this ship here, it removes 1 turn, and the special removes an extra turn. So by using Frankie and Sanji, we're gonna get our ship ready, special ship ready. So we're gonna use their special to remove the last turn of despair. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from this Pedro, and then the last 6 from the ship and the special. And then we're gonna use the rest of the special to clear normally. Rocks Pirates give us orb and territory for strikers, and Riser Pirates are going to give us color affinity and chain to get over the chain debuff. In addition to this Zoro, he's going to be able to give us a big chain to not even deal with the attack down. And for the paralysis, we do not deal with it. We're gonna just tap with the 2 captains. You tap with this Rocks Pirates first, and then finish with Ace. Gonna have a lot of buffs. We're gonna have the attack boost from Ace, the color affinity and chain from these 2, and the orb boost from the Rocks Pirates, plus the territory. So we should be able to clear with just 2 taps for a very long time. I'm not even worried about that. It probably can go up to 20 or 30 millions, but don't quote me on that. I'm just planning on going into 10 million and dipping. So for the alternative, if you don't have either these 2 supports or either one of them, you can change this ship with this Chicken Mary. Passively, it removes 2 turns of despair, and with the special, it removes an extra 2 turns, so that's 4 turns. So either you can just not use any of these supports, or you can use just one of them. Doesn't matter. You can replace them with whichever you want, depending on which one you have. These are the alternatives. The other alternative is if you do not have this Nami support. Even though I'm sure a lot of people got her from this last summer tickets that we got recently, you can replace the Boa Hancock with this Sabo and Koala. This Karasu does the same function as the Nami, as he triggers when we get hit by bind, and we get hit by bind on stage 2, and he's gonna remove bind and paralysis. So all the orbs, the paralysis orbs, are going to be swapped into beneficial orbs. So on stage 2 with this team, we're gonna use swap Carawanda, same as before, use their special, and then we're not gonna use the special of Frankie and Sanji on stage 2 here. We're gonna save it for the last turn because we need this support. And then we're gonna use the special of Riser and Whitebeard, Riser and Riser Crew. It's gonna give us 3 turns of 2 turns of color affinity, and I think 3 or 4 turns of chain, and then use the special of Koala and Sabo to extend the color affinity for the 3 turns. So we're gonna be able to use it on the last turn. That's just an option. You can just save these specials for the last turn. Just helps out for clearing the stage 2 with these extra specials. And then finally, we're gonna use the Ace special to give us extra buffs and give them burn to get through the resilience. Gonna get hit by the extra turn of special reverse, no problem. Carawanda is gonna deal with this on the last stage. We clear, we go into the last stage. We have our A color affinity, we have an attack boost. We're gonna have an orb boost from the Rocks Pirates. Obviously, we're gonna use Wanda special first. Use the special of Rocks Pirates, then use the special of Sanji and Frankie twice, and it should be enough to clear with just the 2 chaps of the captain and the friend captain. Again, if you don't have either of these supports or 2 of them, you can use the chicken, either the normal Mary or the chicken Mary, depending on which one you have and how many despair turns you need to remove and how many supports you have. So here I just put this whale shark. You can replace it with any ship you have, or if you need the despair, as I said, you can replace them with the other ship that removes despair, either 2 turns or 4 turns, depending on your need. Let me just check here for just a little bit to see if the chain of Roger lasts more than 3 turns. Yeah, never mind. I think I messed up here. I thought it was 3 turns, but it's only 3 turns when Roger Crew is captain. So save these 2 specials for the last stage. You can probably use this special if you want, but save the Roger Crew special for the last stage. So for the last stage, you're gonna use Wanda, and then use the rest of the specials. Again, do not use the special of Roger for the first stage, otherwise you won't be able to kill on the last stage. And going into the last alternative team, this one is a little bit janky in case you don't have Carrot and Wanda. I have this Captain Koala. She reduces special rewind on the team, so we're going to be using her. The ship, it could be any ship that removes at least 1 turn of despair. As I said before, you can use this one or any other ships. Koala for a special reverse, as I said. Ace, gonna remove bind, burn, and resilience. And the Karasu support, gonna change the paralysis orbs into matching orbs. So here we're gonna use the Boa special just for some extra damage, and hopefully the Marrow effect reduces their actions. And then we're gonna use the Ace special to remove the bind and hit them with the resilience. And we're gonna use the special of Mr. 2 to change his type and class for advantage. So we're gonna change him into Striker and Free Spirit, so he's buffed by Koala and Ace, and either Dex or Strength, depending on which one we need damage. If we need damage for stage 2, we're gonna use Dex. I don't know what type is the 4th mob on stage 2. If it's Dex, we're gonna turn him into Strength, and if it's Strength, we're gonna turn him into a different color, either Quick or Dex. So we just need to see how the stage, and you see it yourself and check. So the important thing is that he should be Striker and Free Spirit. And the Vivi support, he's just here for a little bit more damage. I think it should be enough damage for stage 2, but we'll see. And going into stage 3, we have the ship and Robin. They're going to remove the despair. Bartolomeo support and the crocodile special, they will remove the paralysis and give us a chain boundary that will allow us to get around the attack down debuff. And the last thing, we're gonna use the special of Koala. I'm not sure if we're gonna need to use it on stage 2 or stage 3, but we're gonna use it here theoretically on stage 3 to give us color affinity for Free Spirit. There's going to be Mawa Hancock and Mr. Chu to deal damage on the last stage. I think this should be enough. Obviously, we're not sure until we get in there and we do the fights and we see what works and what doesn't work, and how the layout of the stages are and the order. But overall, I'm pretty confident in these 3 variations. Hopefully you don't have to use this team and you have at least these characters to deal with this intrusion. It's not an easy intrusion. I hope everybody just doesn't get baited in summons, because the bash is not really good, and also you want to save your gems for August. We're gonna get another, probably a red structure Super Sugo. So hopefully you found this helpful, or at least made you less intimidated to tackle this treasure map or this intrusion. If you have any questions, ask them down below. Please like, subscribe. You can't imagine how much it gives me motivation to keep doing this hobby. And have a nice day.